at that one.
Look at that.
That one.
So anyway, this is one of Scotty's. How many inventions total, Scotty, would you say you've done? I mean, are you talking like 30, 40, 50?
No, I wouldn't say that many, but I've got about 5 of them that are on the market now still.
Okay.
This one, and of course Rollerblades, and roll bike, and now sky ride, and penguins. I do the
penguin. Oh, the penguin, that's right. We got to talk about the penguin.
I'm the penguin.
Hello everybody, I'm Stephen Mark Hahn, and we are going to shoot another episode of Hockey in the Park today, if I can survive the sky roar out here in Waconia. Come on, Stevie, let's go, baby! Wow. He's rolling now!
Holy
He's going now!
Awesome!
Hey, I'm gonna let Scotty. I had no idea what I was doing on this thing, so I'm gonna let the pro Scotty show me how to do it. This is the inventor, Scott Olson. So I'm gonna let him show me how to do it, and then we'll cut into
the rower, sky rower, out here at Skyride Technology in Waconia. Rowing, the most efficient workout right here.
Rowing is the most efficient workout. Explain, as long as we're out here, explain why is rowing the most efficient workout? What's the deal?
Well, the rowing, you work your whole body. Start with your legs. Start in the squat position, and you push up with your legs, and then you finish off with your arms, and you use your back and your core.
So you're getting your core, your legs, your lats.
One of the best cardios.
And also you're getting cardio.
Definitely, and then you're stretching your body.
And then you're stretching.
It's like a moving Pilates machine where you're stretching out your whole body. It's too good to be true.
So if you could only do one thing, this would be
the
Hello everybody, I'm Stephen Mark Hahn. Welcome back to another very, very unique episode of Hockey in the Park. I have one of the most successful people to ever graduate and one of the best hockey players to ever graduate from St. Louis Park High School with me today as my guest. Very special guest, Scotty Olson. Scotty,
hey Stevie.
Thank you so much for joining me. We are out, for the viewers, we are out in Waconia today at Scotty's, what would you call this? Your,
you had a good name for it earlier. I call it the Skyvation Farm. We like to innovate here, we invent products here, we like to work out here, and we love to enjoy nature.
Right.
We've got trumpeter swans that just flew in moments ago. And I've got living in a barn. I'm living in my dream home. Ever since I've been a young kid, I've always wanted to live in a barn, and that's what I'm doing.
And it's kind of a little piece of heaven out here. He's out far enough where he's not near anybody, but yet he's, close into the cities also. So let's talk a little bit how, since this is a hockey show, Scott, let's talk a little bit about how did you start playing hockey? I mean, how did it come about? Did you watch it on TV? And then want to play, or did you have your mom and dad that were pushing you to do it, or how did that come about?
Well, that's a good question, because that was 50 years ago. I grew up next to a park. I think maybe that's what got me going. I grew up in St. Louis Park, Bronx Park area.
Is that right there on Jersey? What was your address?
2916. I could put my skates on in the kitchen and just walk across the street.
2916 Jersey?
2916 Jersey.
Okay, you were very close to me. I was on 30th in Texas.
Yeah?
Just right down Minnetonka Boulevard.
Yeah, great neighborhood.
Great neighborhood.
Great hockey players, lots of hockey.
You basically started just because there was a park right by your house.
Yeah, I got going. I got the bug by just getting out there, skating around. Not watching TV, because there wasn't much to watch on TV back then.
Back in those days, right?
I don't even think the North Stars were around then. So just guys out playing, having fun. And, I loved it. I'm glad I never grew up on a lake, because I figured I probably would have drowned, because I just couldn't wait to get out there and skate.
Really?
I'd get on that ice before it was even flooded.
So you were afraid that if you were on a lake, you would have fell in?
Yeah, not waiting too long enough for it to get thick.
That's a good thought.
I'm going to turn the popcorn off. I'll be right back.
Okay. We got popcorn coming for everybody, so.
Yeah, hang on. We use coconut oil, Stevie.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Keep talking.
Coconut oil.
Okay. So, anyway, we are out here in Waconia, in like I like to call it, out in God's country, Scotty.
Well, it is. I grew up really having two homes. I lived in St. Louis Park, and then my parents were from Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Okay.
And my dad was a school teacher growing up at Susan Lindgren and Fern Hill and and Cedar Manor. He finished out. 6th grade teacher. A lot of my buddies had him for a teacher, and but we grew up driving to Grand Rapids every weekend. So every weekend I got up into the country and got used to that, and so I always knew I'd want to be living in the country. So this is great because this is my cabin and my home.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, Scotty was a goalie at St. Louis Park, and one of the best goalies St. Louis Park has ever had. Let me ask you this obvious question. I still play hockey and I play forward. I've never played goalie, but why did you want to be a goalie? I mean, what was the deal on that?
Boy, I got involved in playing goalie probably like a lot of goalies because nobody really wanted to play.
Nobody else wanted to be the goalie?
Yeah, and I got started, and I had 5 brothers, so I was the one that liked it in the beginning and grew to love it right away, and played at a very young age. My coach way back, Floyd Neerheim, that grew up, that lived close to me, got me started playing goalie. He had all the goalie gear. And it was just a real treat to put it on. It was a nice ego trip to save the guys, save the breakaways, stop the breakaways, and
make the game-winning save.
Yep. So I learned a lot by being a goalie, and I like the idea of being able to put the custom-made goalie mask on. It felt like Halloween, and nobody could really see you.
Nobody could see you.
So that was kind of fun. The mystery of behind the mask. So.
Talk about the high school days a little bit back when you played. I mean, I know you had obviously Johnny Passel, who was out here today, played with you. And
well, high school, I played with Jeff and Johnny.
Jeff and Johnny,
Yeah, I was a sophomore when Jeff was a senior, and I was very fortunate because I got to start as a sophomore goalie.
Did you start as a sophomore?
I did.
Obviously, Chuck Fenstein was your coach, right?
Yep, Chuck was the coach, and we had a lot of great hockey players that year, a lot of great hockey players, and I tell this to a lot of people because after high school, well, we can get into that later, but playing for St. Louis Park, I played my sophomore and junior year, and then my senior year, my parents built a house out in Bloomington.
That's right.
So I decided that it'd be fun to maybe go to a new school, get on another hockey team, and see if I could do it. Play goalie for another team. Bloomington at the time had 3 high schools. So I had my choice of high schools.
So
and
where did you go then?
I picked Kennedy.
You picked obviously Lincoln, Kennedy, or Jefferson.
Yep. So I went to Kennedy and said goodbye to all my Park buddies.
That'd be hard to do, huh?
Yeah, it was. I had a lot of great friends. After all those years, but it was a really great move. I got to meet some great guys in Bloomington, and I wasn't that far away from Park, so I got to hook up with the Park guys, and it was a really exciting night when we traveled to the Park Arena to play against my buddies.
Did you ever get any booze?
I don't know. I don't remember, but it was really fun to stop Johnny on a breakaway, and then Rusty McGinty, I stopped him on a breakaway. I stopped everybody on breakaways.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about back then, obviously when we were growing up, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on in the summers, for summer training and stuff. Is that kind of how you got, for those people out there that don't know, Scotty Olson was the inventor of Rollerblade back in 1980 was it?
Right out of high school I got going, pretty much, 79.
79. So did that come about because you wanted to get like an edge on training in the summers? Is that how it came about? Or
well,
expand on that.
After high school, here's actually one of the original.
It was one of the original skates, guys.
Yeah, this one skated all the way to Grand Rapids and back.
Wow. You put this on and skated from here to Grand Rapids.
Yep.
Oh,
and
so this was obviously a regular, for people that don't know, some of the kids out there that watch my show maybe not know that this was actually a hockey skate with a blade, and then Scotty came up with the idea of taking the blade off and
retrofitting them. Yeah, that's how it got started. Really, all the hockey players kept their old boots. They happened to be a Lang. That was one of the first years the Lang hockey boot came out, the plastic boot. But here's the classic tack.
The old CCM tack, right?
Yeah, so everybody'd bring their boots over to my house, and we'd pop on the frames. So. If you got orange wheels, I have a lot of people that come up to me and say, I was one of the first, and the first thing I'd say, well, what color wheels you had? And if they said they had the white skinny cream wheels, then they're in the elite club.
Oh, those are the elites?
Yeah, there's only a couple thousand of these sold.
Oh, okay.
And,
so that was a creme de la creme, and this was just for the common guy.
Well, these were so hard to skate on that you'd have to skate going down a hill.
Oh, for real? Those are harder to skate?
Oh yeah, much harder.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
That's why we developed these, because these were twice as easy.
Twice as easy.
This was like, when I put these on, I skated into downtown from Bloomington, and I was gone for a day or two.
Okay, so this was easy to skate. Okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, but back to your question.
Yeah.
I got into it as a training tool. That's how I started to market it.
Okay.
But mainly I got into it on a whim, because my brother actually came home from a sporting goods shop and had a pair, and I tried them on, and like everybody else, just fell in love with them.
Okay.
And then that night, or that same day, I went back and bought my own pair.
Okay.
And actually, it was the last pair that was being sold in that store.
What sporting goods store, do you remember?
It was Athletic Outfitters out in Bloomington.
Okay.
And so that's why I don't take credit for being the inventor.
Okay.
I'm the founder of the Rollerblade company.
So you weren't really the inventor. You were more. You kind of got it reinvented. Got it going again.
Yeah, because it was really invented before roller skates.
Right.
Inline skates were invented before roller skates, and there had been a lot of people that had tried to make them successful over the last century.
Okay.
I happened to come along, and perfect timing, and fell in love with them, and being a hockey guy that I was, it made perfect sense for training.
So let me ask you this then: if other people tried to do it and weren't successful, why were you successful? Was it just a timing thing?
A lot of it, I think, for sure, a lot of it was timing, because up until probably the mid '70s, people really didn't train for hockey.
Right.
They just went out and played in the winter.
And that was the training. Yeah.
So, but the first time I got on my pair that night, pretty much that night, I went to a party in St. Louis Park, and Stiggy and Johnny Passelt was there, and Hoover, and a bunch of hockey guys were there, and I come tooling in on my blade.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, and of course they all wanted to try them.
Like, what are you doing?
And they all wanted them.
Oh, they all wanted them?
Yeah.
So then you knew there was a business opportunity.
I knew, yeah. So right away I went back to the sporting goods shop and wanted to buy some more. I wanted to make some money, right?
You wanted to buy them and then sell them for more money?
Yeah, yeah. I would have given my buddies a good deal,
Sure.
But I was an entrepreneur even
back then.
before high school. I was always trying to make a buck. I always wanted to work for myself.
Right.
So anyway, I went back to the sporting goods shop, and they were out of them. The guy had only bought like 3 or 4 pair 10 years earlier. Nobody had ever bought them, and besides my brother and myself. And I got lucky, and the store owner went back into the back room and dug up the business card.
Oh.
He says, I think I may have that company handy.
Okay.
So he went to the back room, and I'm sitting there waiting, and he comes walking out with the business card, grabbed it, gave it to me, and he was happy to get rid of it. He didn't want to order anymore. I called the sporting goods shop up, or the manufacturer up, out in Marina Del Rey, California.
Marina Del Rey, okay.
Yeah, and ordered up half a dozen, and a week later I had Stiggy, Hoover, Passelt, Howard skating on them.
I see. So you ordered 6, 7, 8 pair.
6 right away,
and then sold them to those guys.
And then called up and ordered another dozen, and then another dozen, and then all my friends became salespeople for me, and it kind of started to grow that way.
Wow.
Yeah, because the stores, I thought right away I'd go sell them to the stores, but the stores didn't want anything to do with them because there was no demand for them.
Right.
So that's when I realized that I'd have to go direct.
Right. Okay.
And that's when I went and started knocking on all the hockey doors, and really got it going that way. And the hockey guys always had an old pair of boots around.
Sure.
So it kept their costs down because all they had to do was buy the frames and the wheels, which were like I charged them $50.
$50, yeah.
Now, if I was selling a whole complete package at the time, a lot more money, and that might have been a much tougher sell.
Right.
So
in a way, it was good that these guys had their old boots around, and you could just come and say, hey, bring your old boots in, and I'll pop these on for you.
Yep. And people were still skeptical, too, hockey guys. So that's when I came up with the 5-day money-back guarantee.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had to. because everybody's
like, I don't want to buy it.
So then I said, hey, if you don't like them,
come back in 5 days.
Come on, bring them back. I'll put your hockey blades back on and give you your money back, and we'll call it a deal.
How many people out of 100 would bring them back? Anybody?
Nobody.
Nobody. So if 100 people bought them, nobody would bring them back.
I don't think I ever had anybody bring them back.
Wow.
Yeah. So
okay.
that's a great testament.
That's
to the
a great
product.
testament to yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So
great invention, great idea, great business.
Yeah. So and then what I did that I just kept promoting. I would do all these skates. My buddy Mark Lipson and I skated from Minneapolis to Grand Rapids.
Oh, so you would do that kind of stuff and then get press and then say, hey, Scott Olson skated from here to there on rollerblades, and people would say, hey, what's that? And pretty soon they're buying them from you.
People be calling me up, and then Tommy Howard, another great hockey star from Park, 1978 grad, he skated from Denver to Minneapolis on them.
I hope on the easy pair.
Yeah, well, he was training on these.
He was training on these, but he did it in
He was ready to go on these, and then right before he left, I sent him these exact same frames and wheels, and these were like twice as fast as these guys.
Right, so then he went from Denver to Minneapolis.
1,000 miles.
Just
in
a
19
backpack?
days.
I mean, just a backpack? And
Yep. Slept in the ditch every night.
Really?
In fact, highway patrolman pulled over because somebody called in and said there's somebody dead in the ditch.
Really?
Tommy was taking a nap.
Now, did he do this? He did this to promote?
Yeah.
The rollerblades. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he was a skater. That guy.
Skater. Okay, so obviously you got the rollerblades. Besides the rollerblade, what other inventions have you? I mean, pick a couple of your favorites.
I came up with the switchblades.
The switchblades. That's switch it, right?
Yep, switch it. That was interchangeable ice and rollerblade. And that was a great product because of the fact that you could have multiple ice blades and interchange them. So by doing that, you could try different types of blades, and like trying different types of cross-country skis, finding out what the best wax is. But with ice skates, finding out what the optimum blade length. One of the things I learned by being a goalie is that goalies had longer blades, and we were very fast skaters. People had a hard time figuring out why we were so fast.
That's right, especially with all the equipment on.
And it was because of the blades.
You had a longer blade, like a speed skater. Speed skaters wear longer blades.
Yep, and it's physics. The more blade you have on the ice, the more, the less friction, because you're creating more water beneath your blade.
Right.
So I'd give these hockey guys longer blades, and they would improve their skating instantly, overnight. Right away. Brian Bellows from the North Stars, I gave him a longer blade on his boot, and he couldn't believe it. You know, here these guys are training and training to get faster, stronger.
All you have to do is put on a longer blade.
Yep. So if you have never had your blades profiled, get them profiled to a bigger.
The longer, the better.
Well, there's something's going to be too long, but you don't know till you get there.
Right. So for the kids out there that are watching the show,
get going on that early. Get your blades profiled and get them longer.
The longer the better. For speed.
Yeah, speed, power too. You get a lot of power. A lot of guys say that you'll take away your turning and your agility, but that's not true because you also got more blade for edging.
Okay.
Once you learn your longer blades, you become a sharper turn. You can turn sharper. You can start quicker, and you can stop quicker, and you can glide faster.
So it's just a matter of putting on longer blades and just getting used to it then.
Yeah, it might take you a few hours. It might take you a couple practices.
Well, let me ask you this then. Why don't, for instance, I know like speed skaters have the longer blades. Why don't everybody in NHL, every place college have really, 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 really long blades then?
Well, it's just been, you don't want to go that long.
You don't want to go that long?
No, you want to stay within the length of the hockey blade at least.
Okay.
You don't want to have the blade extend beyond the boot.
Okay.
But you certainly, because typically a hockey blade maybe only has 2.5 inches of blade contact.
Sure.
Well, I'm talking at least 4 inches of blade contact minimum. Wow. Is what you should have.
That's great advice for
that could be the best advice you ever get.
Okay. So
I don't know why they don't promote that more.
They should promote that. Okay, then you have the switch hits. What else was good?
Okay, well then, I did a lot of other skate designs, and then after the skates, after I got over this whole skating scene, I got into rowing. Okay. At the club, and I fell in love with rowing.
You said the club, like the health club?
Yep. It was actually up at the St. Louis Park Club. years ago, and I fell in love with rowing, and I said, I got to make this thing move. You know, got to be outside like I'm blading or biking.
Right,
you know?
right.
So that's when I came up with the row bike.
Roll bike, that's
And that's
right.
what we got to get you on, Stevie.
I got to get on that.
Yeah, you and all you guys out there.
Right. Roll
Great
bikes.
cross training.
Roll bikes.
Because it really stretches you out.
Right, like we talked about earlier. We'll put a graphic at the end though. But
yeah,
rowing is good for the lats, your legs,
everything. But more importantly, it stretches your body out, and it really loosens you up. I mean, I remember when I was playing hockey, I'd show up at the rink and just get on the row bike, you know, for 5 minutes in the parking lot, the Park Rec Center.
Okay, really?
I'd jump on my row bike and just get on it, and it would loosen you up.
Really?
Just like that.
So maybe that, for the kids out there watching the show, do some rowing before you play.
Oh, I think every locker room should have an indoor rowing machine.
Good idea.
To get on, you break the sweat. That and a ping pong table. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, let's talk. Well, as long as we're talking about that, let's talk about that. Scotty's a big promoter of ping pong. He also invented what's it called? Kong pong.
Very good.
Kong
That's a
pong.
good one.
It's an actual ping pong table, but it's larger. And Johnny Passel was out here earlier, and we were talking. You guys were talking about that. It's really good for, you know, these hockey players growing up. Hand-eye coordination.
The ping pong's great for every athlete for eye-hand coordination. And that's why a lot of athletes play it. I mean, a lot of the golfers play it when they got downtime during a tournament. Tiger Woods,
Tiger Woods plays it.
Phil Mickelson compete all the time.
I didn't know that.
When I was selling rollerblades back in the day, when Gretzky would show up at the Met Sports Center, I got to know all the Oilers, right?
Okay.
I'd hang out with them in the locker room because they'd be blading around right up until
they'd
game
be using
time.
your blades.
Yeah, because that was the first time they got on them.
Oh.
And we got talking, and they had a ping pong table in their locker room up in Edmonton, and they'd be playing ping pong right up until game time.
Right until game time.
And having little tournaments and just getting loosened up and just interacting, getting competitive.
Sure.
But ping pong, I mean, will pay big dividends for any athlete. So everybody should have a table.
So if you were the coach of a high school team or the St. Louis Park team, you'd have a ping pong table in the locker room and maybe a row bike.
Well, not so much a row bike. Yeah, that'd be great, but an indoor rowing machine.
Indoor rowing machine.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
Okay.
Row bike is just more fun.
Right. Row bike's more
But
fun.
ping pong for sure. In fact, we'll be putting on a little Kong pong tournament over at the ice arena here this winter.
Okay. Over at the rec center?
Yeah, over at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. And if anybody can beat me, I'll give you $50.
Wow.
You got to have your blades on though.
You got to have your blades on to do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And
are you going to use the bigger?
We'll play it. Yeah, we're gonna have the Kong pong table out there. So let's
Just
promote this.
Let's promote
tournament.
it. When about? Give me an idea. When about?
Why don't we do it like around beginning of March?
Beginning of March.
We can set up a time.
Okay.
And
people out there, beginning of March, Rec Center, St. Louis Park Rec Center. Scotty's going to hook up a ping pong table, Kong pong table,
and we'll have a little mini tournament.
The rule is though you have to wear your rollerblades.
No, ice skates.
Oh, your ice skates.
We're gonna play on the ice.
Oh, you're gonna play on the ice.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Johnny Olson's gonna give us a good deal on some ice time over there.
Oh, so you're gonna have your hockey skates on, and you're gonna play ping pong.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna be an Olympic sport someday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Wow.
Ice pong.
Okay.
Can you envision it?
And if anybody beats Scotty, he's gonna.
I'll give him $50 and then.
$50 or a tour of his place out here. And
whatever. Yeah, we'll donate if you beat me, we'll give you 50, but you gotta give 25 to the hockey association.
That's a good idea.
All right.
That's a great idea.
You get 25. 25 goes to the hockey association.
Okay. Anything else besides those inventions? I know you had me on the sky roller.
Well, what about that ride?
Oh, awesome! You guys, this is.
Yeah, the sky ride.
Sky ride is unbelievable. Unbelievable workout. I did it twice, and I'm still feeling it. I thought I was in shape.
Yeah, well, the wheels were kind of cold.
Yeah.
So you had to work a little harder.
I had to work a little harder, and I'm older. But
yeah,
great inventions though. Good idea.
Well, the idea behind that is to really get fitness to be exciting
and fun.
Fun and exciting, so you want to do it again and again.
I totally agree with you because I go to the health club. You know, you pay $35 a month, and all I see is these people doing the same old thing. They're riding the spinner bike, and they're riding the treadmill, and they got their headphones on, and they're watching CNN.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, really? And I tried it one time for 5 minutes, And I said, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's so boring. So, you know, if Scotty can make exercise fun, that is the key. I mean, it really is.
And what's going to be great about the Sky Ride is that it's going to be great for people of all ages.
Right.
Because you don't need to be balancing.
Right.
It can be for people with any type of disability, all the way down to be visually impaired, paraplegic.
You could be visually impaired and still do it, yeah.
We've had visually impaired people out here right now, and yeah, so it's going to be great for that aspect of, and then the seniors.
Sure.
They're not long. You'll be
We'll be
experiencing that, yeah.
them.
Where you're going to be afraid to get on your
Yep.
bike and your
Yep.
rollerblades,
And it's easy on your knees. You know, I mean, you know, we got to worry about our knees now,
hips.
and their knees and hips, and you know, doesn't hurt your knees and hips at all.
Yeah, well, that's the nice thing about rowing is
Sure.
very low impact. So,
You
but
totally sold me on the idea on that.
so yeah, keep your eyes open. In fact, I got a call from the St. Louis Park rec people. They were looking at the Sky Ride and putting it up back behind the pool area.
Oh yeah, really?
In that big field there.
Sure.
So I just
Really?
thought of that just now.
Good idea.
Yeah, here's a couple swans.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up now because I know you got to get going, Scotty. But did you follow the current team? I mean, so you know the current high school team they've been, your alumni. They've been bad for a couple of years.
Yeah, they're
now
doing.
the 13-4 as we tape this, 13-4.
Yep.
And part of the reason why I decided to do my show, in case you didn't know that, for the viewers out there, is because there was such a buzz around St. Louis Park hockey when Sean Podine took over. I mean, just the town was a buzz, and I went to a few games, and the stands were full, and I thought, what a great idea to combine a passion of hockey that I love, and I love St. Louis Park. I bought the house, I grew up in there. Combine my love of St. Louis Park and my love of hockey, and then do a show. And it's just been so much energy around the team and players, and now they're 13-4, and oh man, I want to see them in the state tournament.
Wow, that'd be something.
That'd be something, yeah. But
I'm going to the next game.
Okay.
Who are they playing?
February 4th is their next game at 2:30 at the rec center. Then February 14th and February 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in the North Suburban, so I think they play Irondale and some of those teams.
Well, I'll see you out there.
Yeah, it's been a great ride for Sean Podine and his crew, and I keep thinking too, Scotty. Think of how blessed these kids are. Now, when we were growing up, we were standing in the snowbanks with skates like this.
Yeah.
In the snowbanks, skating on 20, 30 below ice, right?
Yeah.
And then in the summers we had nothing, no programs, playing baseball or maybe running the lakes. Now these kids got innovative sports like this, what you have out here. They're skating 4 or 5 hours a day. Look at the coaches they have. I mean, there was 3 or 4 NHLers on the staff at St. Louis Park.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just,
I'm glad I played then and not now. The competition's too.
Yeah, the competition.
Too stiff.
That's the flip side of it. You got the flip side of it.
Yeah, boy, and it's being the goalie. You only need one goalie out there playing, so it's really tight.
So before we sign off, any advice to the kids that are watching?
Advice, yes.
Best advice you could give somebody.
I always tell my players when I was coaching and playing with them is to pass the puck when you can and not when you have to. So when you get that puck, you're thinking right away you're going to be headmanning it.
Great advice.
Don't try to dangle with the puck.
Dangle.
Move it right away and make it a good pass. Get it out of the zone as quick as you can, but get the puck, move it when you can, not when you have to.
Good
and
advice.
then the other thing, too, being a goalie, is that just put the puck on the net. Don't just when you shoot, just try to hit the goalie. In fact, is a good way to try to score.
Just hit the goal, yeah.
Try to aim to hit the goalie, because then he's going to cough up a rebound. It might go between his legs, but if you start hitting the corners, you're going to be missing the net.
Right.
So if anything, hit the goalie.
Hit the goalie, and maybe something good will happen.
Yeah. So hit the goalie.
What is that saying that Wayne Gretzky said? You don't, or was it Brett Hall? You don't score if you don't shoot. There's no such thing as a bad shot.
Yeah, true. And a backhand's a great shot.
And a backhand's even a better shot.
So.
All right. So Scotty, thank you very much. This is
My
one
pleasure.
of the best goalies to ever play at St. Louis Park, you guys. One of the best innovative minds to ever come out of St. Louis Park with all the inventions he's had. Thank you for being my guest. Until next time, keep your head up, keep your stick on the ice. Please don't hit anybody from behind. Enjoy the game of hockey. I'm Stephen Mark Hahn. We'll see you soon.
Very good.
Good job, man.
Yeah, right.
That was awesome. That's awesome, Scotty. That's awesome. Hey,
Hey, hey! That's a Polish chicken right there. Look at that pretty guy. Oh,
Wow.
That's a little girl.
He's pretty.
She's a year old.
Wow. Now, where do you get something like that? I mean, how do you find
In the
them?
mail. You order them online. They come in the mail.
They come right. They actually come in the mail.
2 days old. They ship them right when they're
Wow.
right when they lay an egg, or right when they're hatched.
Wow. Oh, I'm not gonna make it.
Come on, Steve.
Come on, use those legs.
What do I do if I don't make it?
You gotta make it. You're gonna break it.
Seriously?
No.